welcome to my channel. My name's Andrea the Cumbrian Crafter. I've come on today to do the Woolly Steph Art Club prompt for this month, and this month the prompt is heart. So what I'm going to do this month is I've just recently done an ATC swap with Ali over on Instagram, who is Ali Creating Altered. I'll leave a link to Ali's Instagram account in the description box down below. But she very kindly showed me photos of ATCs that were available for swapping, and there was one in particular I really liked the look of, and it did have a heart on it, and I haven't received them yet. I've sent mine off to Ali, so hopefully when those arrive I'll be able to show them on video. But I was really inspired by lots of Ali's in ATCs. At the moment a lot of them have got hearts on, so I'm going to try and make my own very similar to one that is hopefully winging its way over from America to me. So starting off as always with the base, which is 4 inches squared, I'm just going to add lots of colour to the background to start with. I've got this mixed media ink spray here, and this is in light blue. I've also got the Distress Spritz spray in Uncharted Mariner, and I've also got a mica stain, and that's in Shiny Bauble. So I think to start with I'm just going to add some of this one, because this one is more of a block colour rather than a one that's got mica in it. And then I'm just going to use a wet wipe, and I'm just going to dab that because I want to cover the whole of the background. So I'm just going to layer the colours up. It's more or less covered. And I'm just going to very quickly dry that off with my heat gun. Right, I'm now going to add the mica stain, Shiny Bauble. And again, I'm going to dry this off with my heat gun. Okay, so that's more or less dry. I'm just going to add some of this darker blue, and this is the Spritz spray, so there isn't as much colour in this one, but it should go nicely over what we've got here. Okay, and again I'm going to dry this off. Just going to dab some of that off there, because I don't want it to be really... I think probably what I would do if I had the time and wasn't recording, I would just leave that to dry naturally. But there's some nice colours in the background there, and it's really shimmery. I'm not sure whether you can see that on camera. Right, so now what I'm going to do is use this stamp here to stamp over in the background. It's a cheap stamp. I'm not really sure where I bought it from. It could have been Temu, Temu or AliExpress. So I'm just going to use my stamping platform. And I'm just going to position. I think it's dry enough. Position that down on there. I think I want it, I don't want the full 1959 in there. I think I want to position it about there. So let me have a look. Probably about there, like that. So I might actually need to bring that down a wee bit. for this I'm going to use the Stays On in Jet Black. I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see the line shot there. I'm just going to ink up the stamp and then press that down on there. It doesn't have to be a perfect stamp because it is just the background. Just have a look. Yep, that's fine. Happy with that. Just give the stamp a little wipe. Now what I'm going to do is just go over that again with the heat gun. Right, I'm just going to leave that a little bit to dry because I can move on to the next part. It's actual heart. So I've cut this heart out from this die set here, this Tonic Studios one, which I've had quite a while. It's a lovely shaped heart and it will sit really nicely on there. So obviously I want this heart to be red. So to start with, I'm going to colour the whole heart in Barn Door in the Distress Oxide. I'm just going to colour the entire thing. It's a lovely red, lovely bright red. There we go. Let's get another wet wipe. Just move that out of the way a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is spritz over the top of that with Barn Door in the Distress Spritz Spray. Again, this doesn't add a lot of colour, which is why I've put the Barn Door on the base there, in the background. But this will add a little bit of spritz. I'm going to dry this off. Okay. I don't know whether you can see that, but it is shimmery. It's got a nice colour to it now. So what I'm going to do now is add some crackle paste. So I've got this set here, which I've had for quite a while, and the lids do stick shut, so I've had to ask my husband to open them for me. So I've got the base coat and the top coat. So we'll start by adding a base coat. And just with a clean brush, I'm just going to add some of this quite generously over the heart, all over the heart. And then I'm going to have to wait for this to dry. It does say sort of between 15 minutes to an hour, depending on the humidity. So I'll make sure that that dries before we move on to the top coat. So I'm just going to move that somewhere safe. Okay. Right, I'll bring this one back in, and I've got my Tim Holtz Distress embossing pen, and I'm going to draw around the edge of this and add some black embossing powder. So I'm just going to freehand this. I think I've got a better one than that. Let's have a look. And then down the sides. And I was thinking about colouring the black splodges as well. I'm not sure whether that will work. I'll give that a go. Okay, so if I put this on a piece of paper, if I add the black embossing powder, I don't mind if it sticks where I haven't put the embossing pen. It just adds to the grungy feel of it. Let me just get the majority of that back in the... Should have got a bigger piece of paper really. Put the lid on that for now. I'll bring this back in. Just find a little brush. Wipe that up. I'm going to use the heat gun again. Okay, so that's the background finished. I really like the grungy look. I like the little speckles of black. So the red heart will really stand out on there. So what I'm going to do now is leave that to one side. I will wait for the base coat of the crackle paint to the crackle varnish to dry, and then I'll add a top coat exactly the same way as I added the base coat, and then I'll come back once those two coats are dry so we can finish off the art page for this month. Right, as you can see now, the background is nice and dry. You can hopefully see the shimmer and the different blues and the embossing in the background. The red heart has dried lovely. So as you can see, the crackle there. I was actually going to rub in some of my pastels to make the crackling stand out more, but I don't think it needs it. I really don't. I think that looks lovely just as it is. I'm hoping that you can actually see that on camera. So I'm just going to stick that down on my background. I wonder if I should have it raised. No, I think I'm just going to glue it straight on. I'm going to stick that at an angle on there, just in the middle. And then to finish it off, I've took out some of the quotations by Tim Holtz Ideology. And we've got gold on white. And there's silver on white, or there's gold or silver on black. The sentiment that stands out to me is the go with your heart. In my heart. I don't know. Let's see what that would look like. I can always stick it back on the sheet if I don't like it. Go with your heart. Yep, I like that. The go with your heart. I'll just stick that on there. I might need to add some more glue to keep that down. There we go. That is my finished Woolly Steph Art Club page for this month, Prompt Heart. Heavily inspired by the lovely Ali of Creating Altered over on Instagram. As I say, I will leave a link to Ali's Instagram channel in my description box, and when the ATCs arrive from America I'll show you them and you'll probably be able to recognise which one I've gone with there. So thank you for watching today, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.